cut off here. I have my own supplies coming in via their ex-capital. Alright, there we go. Another one bites the dust. They are so close to capitulation. We really just need to roll into a few more provinces. But I also can't allow them to retake any of this, so move our way up. Don't know where you guys plan on going, but granted, there is a lot to defend here. If I just had a way of grabbing that province quickly, like, you know, a tank or something. Of course, they're trying their own desperate defense here. Alright, that goes down. I'm just going to plow my way up. Up and up. Try some more. Why is Jake not pushing obvious gaps in the line? Maybe it's something I don't see. Maybe it's just because I'm terrible at micro. I mean, I'm looking for obvious gaps here. I guess this counts as an obvious gap, but it's also going to extend my own line a touch. I guess you can get on that. They have decided to back up that. Ka-ching. Just a few more provinces and they'll be down, or one city. 99%. That sounds like 2 provinces to me, and we're working on that. Run them down. Jake, he asked AI, not you. We know you're not human, but jeez. Probably because they know they would get encircled for it. So, that went a lot better than some other wars I've fought. I think Argentina just need to not exist for the pain that they've caused me. Good fight, but good night. Hello, manpower. It's nice to see you in the triple digits again. And we liberated some equipment as well. Ain't that just sweet? Probably some more crappy guns, but I'll take it. I will be taking that support equipment though. That is very nice. So, what do we do now? Tempted to upgrade all of you guys to elites. Where they have field hospitals, engineers, and reconnaissance. Aye, that seems acceptable. At least then they won't die so much. Yeah, so that's what we're going to turn elites into. And then we're going to turn to you. Well, maybe not you. Maybe you guys. You'll be the new elites. That said, they aren't very elite, are they? Hell, nobody is. I lost all my best. Alright, there you go. You can enjoy being... You're going to need motorized. Going to need support. Oh, I don't have that kind of support, but I will just have to get it. And they'll need 29,000 manpower. Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? At least they'll be a bit better at defending, especially when they have engineers to help with entrenchment. Okay. That all went horribly. How about we fight another person like Uruguay? Uruguay are sitting on at least 14 factories and a touch of steel. That sounds like conquest to me. We take down Uruguay, we take down Chile, and we take down Brazil. I mean, how hard could Uruguay possibly be? They don't have great defense other than this one river. Ah, damn. I'm no longer at war, so I lost my focus on that. I lost the points for it as well. That was a shame. I need to wait till I'm in a war that's going to last a bit longer before I do that then. Concerning. Oh well, let's get ourselves some special forces while we wait. Or I could do nothing and actually bank up some some points here, which could also be handy, since I don't think any of this is all too important. I mean, 3 military factories, whoopity-doo. Jake, plan to take the whole of the country. Alright, meet shields, who are interestingly made of elite foot troops. So, something isn't adding up there, strangely enough. Alright, what'll I do with you then? Boom. Just take it all. How hard could it be, right? Jake, isn't that a lot of support for just 3 battalions of infantry? Maybe make it 4 battalions per brigade. It's a fairly good idea, but it's also expensive on the army experience to do that. It also really narrows down the number of units I can have in each of these. I mean, that's not too bad an idea, though. How much would it cost to change that? There we go. It's just too expensive on the manpower to have such large ones. I would love to, but I can't. It is a lot of support for them, though, really. A lot of support, but no manpower. I'll switch them out someday, I guess. Okay, when it comes to production, though, we are suffering. I thought we'd gotten more steel. Guess we're just plowing out those tanks non-stop. We can take away from our guns a touch. But I need a lot of support for all this. And now it's, what am I looking at? Aluminium that I need more of. Well, the United States, you've got my back, right? We need a touch more, and we couldn't hurt to get a bit more of that steel as well. We'll get a couple more, since it's not like I'm spending my, it's not like I'm spending my civ factories on all that much of importance. So we'll take Uruguay down, it'll be no problem. I mean, when has any tiny South American state ever truly stood up to us? A little concerning that you are my offensive guys, yet you are not the elite ones. Oh well. We need that support equipment, we need quite a lot of it. How fast are we producing it? 5 per day. It's still 200 days till we get enough of it, although the efficiency will go up for it. Let's just switch these around a touch. Because I am building military factories, yes I am. Slowly but surely, and very slowly, because I never researched anything to do with construction. I am really concerned about having so much support for these tiny ones, though. I mean, essentially, half of all the manpower is spent on this. Yeah, I could just upgrade the whole size of them and have much smaller... Okay, how about this? I'm going to end up with far fewer units in total here. But if I just make this a lot bigger, save this as my elite foot troops, and then what I can do is get rid of a lot of my foot troops. There might be a huge problem with me doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So what I end up doing is taking you folks and just dismissing about 1/3 of you. At least I get all the goodies back from it. So now you well and truly are elite. Gotta make sure to get all the green ones here. 16 maybe is a bit much. chance to get that manpower back, I'm telling you. But then these guys will drink it all up. Jake, where's your freedom shirt? Well, since I plan, in massive inverted commas, to take on the United States, perhaps it's not the best day for the freedom t-shirt. Nice to have my own puppet, though. You know, maybe it's worth making you guys into elites as well. Just have all of my small crappy guys into elites. And then just sort them out as well. So if I just delete... Let me think. I'll delete all the inexperienced foot troops. Well, relatively inexperienced. And then change the existing ones into the elites. Haha, needs support equipment. We have none. Well, too bad. We'll see how well that works out for them, but boy do I need a lot more support equipment. With this, almost everybody could go back into this. Hell, I could dismiss the green guys. Could dismiss just 2 of you. And then we have everybody led under Jose. Got a far tighter assortment here. But tight is what we're going to have to live with. Save a bit on the manpower as well. Jake, do you need that many tanks? Maybe. See, designing really good divisions is something that I am not all that well versed in doing. But I'll figure it out. Full manpower in roughly 40 days. Due to attrition, huh? Oh, it's because you're moving through marsh. We'll wait until everybody is in position. Then they'll have a lot easier time of this. Jake, what's the advantage of having a tiny puppet like Paraguay? It allows me to create a faction, and then I get the useful bonus of a faction, which is an extra tech slot. Which I really, really should have thought about before signing peace or before forcing a capitulation. But I'll wait for a longer war like Brazil, and then I'll do it. And I will stave off the capitulation if I can. This means that fighting Brazil is going to be hell. Because I don't really have the front to deal with it. Maybe I should duplicate this and just recall you the foot troops and have you as not elite. Not sure what I'll do with you later, but having all those really, really tiny stacks, I say tiny, it's still 3,000 manpower a pop, is going to help in defending all of this, because that's a huge front to have with Brazil. They've got, no, I'm looking at myself there, let's not be fooled. They have a fairly reasonable number of divisions, and if they are allowed to run ham in my country, then I'm going to be in for a bad time. My poor manpower. Uruguay is going down next, and then Chile. Chile also... Here's the thing though, I can probably just fight Chile without being scared of them invading my country. Okay, I'm taking you on the double. Because getting infantry equipment 3 is a big help. Just like getting that extra medium tank, right? So the game not running so butterly smooth since the entire world is at war. It's AI for you. But how in the world do I deal with Brazil? They're so big. And they're so united as well. I will find it difficult to take that down. They took the neutral focuses, which boost up their national unity. Can we get a peek at the resources available in countries you plan on invading, Jake? Certainly. Brazil have the rubber, and I want those for my vehicles. Chile have iron. You always need iron. Iron, steel, metal, whatever you want to call it. And there's a touch of steel and oil over in Uruguay. I'm not needing oil. In fact, I export most of the oil that I have. Jake, designing good divisions is not that hard. 20 to 30 with Art AT in infantry division with those fine recons and engineers. Aye, maybe I should have gotten around to actually researching and producing some artillery, because that really makes your infantry a lot better at fighting. But I didn't, and I continue not to. I'm so far behind when it comes to artillery now anyway. That said, I have a whole bunch of nice ahead of time stuff, or research bonuses. Helps with soft attack mightily. Yeah, I think I've been resisting it for so long, I really should just get around to doing it. You can try to roll up the coastline of Brazil with tanks and keep forces holding steady along the western border, Jake. I don't have enough forces to hold this down unless I made a whole bunch of cheap guys and maybe finally gave them some artillery. It is a consideration, though. Yeah, rolling up with tanks along the Brazilian coastline sounds kind of nice. I wouldn't mind if they pushed much into my country, though, because then they'd become a lot easier to cut off. That comes with its own problems, though. Well, Chile will be at least a bit easier there. They have low national unity, and when it comes to their cities, what do they have? They have one there that I can probably just punch through to. They have their capital. Their capital is only in hills, which is easy enough, and nothing to the south. So if I just crush this one province and also nab their city there, Chile will go down, no problem. That is counting on Uruguay not being too much of a hassle. I think I'll give myself a bit more time this time around. Man, Paraguay. I keep you around because you were such a pain. Well, there's not much going on in our country, so I guess we could just watch stuff unfold over in Europe. Since we have to wait about 100 days for our thing to be ready. Which is unfortunate that the game slows down when the whole world war is going on, especially since we're not involved in it. Jake, if you're planning on hitting the US, you will need anti-tank on your infantry and tank destroyers on mobiles. Yes, I'm going to have to do something about their tanks. The thing is, there's so much to research, so much to build, and so much to man with resources that I simply don't have. I'll figure it out, though. Jake, won't selecting all of your infantry as elites mean they get support equipment before your tanks? True it will, but I plan to have enough to deal with all of that. Where are we looking here? Okay, we still need a fair chunk of these, but we should be done in, what, 50 days? Give or take, that'll be plenty of support equipment for us. I want to drive up my production efficiency as well. How are we looking here? Infantry equipment, concentrated industry. The all-important doctrine for the tanks that we finally have. Yeah, thinking about it, going the mobile doctrine when we could only really afford 8 tank divisions, not my greatest tactic, but it was a tactic. support equipment aside, what are we lacking here? Just medium tanks? We'll have those. Puts another strain on the support equipment. Yeah, I could just change it. I can make you elite in the future. Seems to be doing a pretty botched job over in Iberia there. Jake, cancel those new tanks. You should have medium tank 3 soon. I will, but I mean, when I produce medium tank 3, it's going to give me quite a hit to the production efficiency, and it's going to take a long time to roll in those new tanks. The thing is, I can still use my older medium tanks in the tank, in the divisions, since all it requires is a medium tank. It doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, or 3. Or 3 Mark II. Speaking of which, I used up all that, I used all my army experience there. So now I don't have much with which to make a Mark II on the Tank 3. I will make a Mark II of it though. Jake, why not go for Mexico before Brazil? Mexico should be easier to take. I will likely do that. Brazil does seem like a big pain, and not so sure I get all that much out of it. It's a shame that the whole world went to war like this, because it's hammering at the speed here. So Brazil, what Brazil has that I want is population 1 million. Not really interested in things that are below the millions, but 3, 2, 7, 6, 4, 4, 8. Just, so much population that I could press into my army. I mean, when I look at somewhere non-core that is 5 million, I press 28,000 into my army. I need those thousands because I don't currently have much of those thousands. At least I have a bit of trickle back now. Yeah, you guys really need some support artillery, but I need to research artillery for that to happen. And produce it. Well, we will get on that. Brazilians now play soccer nervously. Jake, do materials from outdated and obsolete equipment get recycled? No, they stay in your logistics pile. Hang on, we'll bring that up. Who would have thought shortcut L for oh wait. That is an I, not an L. Here we go, so even all those old crappy bits of basic equipment that I liberated from other nations is sitting here in the stockpile. It differentiates between the equipment from different countries because it can be used for land leasing that way. Nice, we're producing those medium tanks quite nicely, but the support equipment I just wish I had more of. Well, who would have thought we got 2 full supply lines of tanks, one of them at full efficiency, and I want to make full efficiency even fuller, but it's taken a while for all this to tick up. Jake, don't trust the chat. Mexico will be harder with a small front. You can encircle Brazil easier. Their division numbers aren't enough to hold those borders. Aye, and I see that population and I think I want it. If I look over at Mexico instead, what do we have? 800,000, 1 million, 2 million, 1 million. Just not the numbers that I want to press into my glorious army that Brazil have. Plus I'd have to walk all the way up to Brazil or take a boat over to Brazil. So how are Mexico in terms of numbers? Well, they have a large army. Larger than Brazil's. You're right though, Brazil could not hold that line. Even if Brazil pushed into me, I could cut them off and push them back. That's right, it's that blind confidence is what I need. Just shimmy my way up the coastline. Jake, how's your navy looking? You invested in it early on. Is it paying out? I have 10 extremely old submarines. The reason I needed to invest in my navy early on was because I needed to have boats to patrol that would allow me to do naval invasions, which was absolutely vital for taking out Panama, since I could not walk across the Panama Canal. America wouldn't just allow you to walk through with your army. And even so, if you had military access, then your units would not be able to attack from a nation without military access. So it puts a bit of strategic necessity into, say, ploughing through the lowlands to get around France's defences. Ah. 1,600 viewers, Jake. Do I congratulate you or lament your sellout skills? That's all I can really say to that. I'm also saying to the speed going on here, having just about every nation involved in war. Well, it's slowing things down a touch for me. When what I really want to do is stamp down on these little guys in South America, where I think it's high time I started justifying my war goal here. I will conquer you. What will I conquer? Well, not myself. That would be daft. Doesn't really matter what I go for. It's all going to be El Salvadorian in the end. Watching Soviets getting chased out of Africa here, and the Germans getting chased out of Iberia. See, the real winner in all of this has been nationalist Spain. They've done an incredible job. Sorry, Republican Spain. Nationalist Spain did do an incredible job. They still exist there, enjoying their African delights. But that's about all they're enjoying. Che, can you cancel your subject of Paraguay and annex them later? I would like to do that. But, nah, they're already in my faction. What I could... I don't think you can liberate a puppet. Can request their forces though. I would like all divisions that you have. But nah, that ain't gonna happen. Jake, what is Fascist Canada called? I don't know. I'm sure other people have played as Fascist Canada. I have a lot of countries that I want to play in Hearts of Iron, and I will do them. It's just a case of finding the time to do it. Jake, what kind of CPU do you have? I have an i7. Makes me saddened not to be the one that's currently fighting all, but my staggering 20-something divisions are not going to cut the mustard at this point. And jings, goodbye manpower. I guess my units are getting fleshed out now? Some of them I don't think have even received everyone that they need. Oh, they're waiting on support equipment. Okay. Does that mean you will play the greatest Bork of an empire? I don't know what you mean by that. But on the cards, I would like to do Liberia, who are currently at war, but I don't think they're in any immediate threat since they're surrounded by French Africa and British Africa. Swell. All infantry and motorized and mechanized getting extra organization is wonderful. Backhand blow and breakthrough. But there are other things that I do need, and that is better industry. But doctrine is so important, I can't really ignore it. We finish with concentrated industry. I think I'll get my production efficiency up some more. And then once we're done with the tank, we're a long way away from a modern tank. I think I'll spend that time investing finally in getting some artillery for my so-called elite units, who aren't feeling very elite these days. Communist Liberia, Jake, or something else? Probably something other than democratic, since, well, I don't want to be somebody else's plaything. Excuse me. Like I said, not feeling so hot. 30k manpower, that's pretty low. please, we can't have a second Paraguay disaster. We need more manpower so badly. Aye, that's true, but it's slowly ticking up, right? Grows by